Welcome to the Santa's Kitchen. I'm Mike. Today we're going to be doing some shrimp, crab, and corned bisque. It's going to be great, so stick with us. This is a fun recipe. You're going to love it. So let's get started with all the ingredients. Hey, take a moment and like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the ingredients. Just want to let you know that we know it's a lot of ingredients. It's going to be delicious, and you will find everything, all the ingredients listed in the description below. So don't panic. So let's get started with the ingredients. I'm going to tell you real quick. We have 2 pounds of peeled shrimp. Now we're going to do a little something with this in a second. Then we have a whole pound of lump crab meat. Oh my God, is that going to be good? And then we have onions. Now the bell peppers came out of my garden. We had a little red one and a green one, and we still have a couple more on the bush. So I have some bell pepper, some celery, and I do have some parsley. I'll chop it up later. And I have some garlic, 4 or 5 toes that I minced up. We have some green onion. Now I always cut my green onion separately, you know, like the bottoms are here and the tops are there. I'm going to put the bottoms in first, and the tops are going to go in for a garnish. And, you know, we have creamed corn, regular corn, some cream. We have our shrimp stock on the stove. And, you know, if you want to know how to make that shrimp stock, I'll have a little link to it so that you can go right to it. So we have some flour and butter to make a nice roux, and a whole bunch of seasonings that are great for shrimp. So, hey, let's get started cooking because I'm getting hungry. So we have 2 pounds of beautiful Louisiana shrimp, but they're kind of big. So what I feel like I need to do is cut them a little smaller. You know, if they're small already, then you can leave them alone. They're going to shrink a little bit, but I'm going to cut these into 3 pieces because they're kind of big. And that way everybody can get a little shrimp and crab on a spoon at the same time. So let me show you how to cut them. So I'm going to squeeze those together, and I'm going to cut it once and twice like that, see? And now I'm going to do all the rest of the 2 pounds. If you're using fresh shrimp and you peel and devein them, you know, once in a while you're going to miss a vein, right? Don't let it freak you out. A little shrimp veins never killed anybody. Ooh, so we're going to take all of these shrimp, put them in the bowl. Now here's an important step. For right now, we're just going to use some magic shrimp seasoning. I'm going to pour about a tablespoon over all of those shrimp, and we're going to fold it up just to make sure that the shrimp can marinate before we can get to them. We want them to suck up some of those seasonings. All right, so that's good for that. And now we're going to put this in the fridge along with the crab meat, and we're going to start making our bisque. All right, we got the fire on. We're going to put in a whole stick of butter and let that melt down. All right, time to go in with the onions. I'm going to use about half of what I have here. That's really about a cup. Put the bell pepper in next. And about a cup of celery, or half a cup of celery. And the green onion bottoms. So I have my heat on high right now. I'm going to go ahead and add in my garlic. We're just going to turn the heat down a little bit, and we'll let this simmer until all of the veggies to soften up. I actually did add about another tablespoon of butter, and this is 3/4 of a cup of flour, all-purpose flour. So we want to blend this into all the veggies really good. We're going to use a lot of shrimp stock and some cream So I want to make sure I have enough flour to thicken everything. So I'm going to use a little bit more. That's probably a half a cup right there. Well, that's looking really good. So I just feel like I need to add in a little bit of white wine. I'll bet you that's no more than maybe a quarter cup. I love the flavor. I think it's going to add a lot to it. Oh man, does that smell good? It smells awesome. Okay. Now it's time to add in our shrimp stock. Okay, we're going in with the shrimp stock. I'll add a little bit at a time, just so I can make sure I don't have any lumps. You shouldn't have any. By the way, we reserved all of the heads and the bodies of the shrimp, and I boiled them for a couple of hours, and I even took an immersion blender and I blended up those heads. It was disgusting, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. It made the best shrimp stock, I'm telling you. You know what, if you're a local Louisiana person from Houma, or, down south where, you get a lot of seafood, people know how to do that, believe me. But if you can't do it, don't worry about it. Just buy some seafood stock. All right, so I'm going to continue to stir this until we can get it nice and smooth. And then we're going to add in another 4 cups of seafood stock. So here we go. We're going to put in our other 4 cups of shrimp stock. Oh, this is so good. I strained it 3 or 4 times. Make sure I got all the shells and everything out. I put about a capful of liquid crab oil in. And a few bay leaves. Strained the bay leaves out and everything. Great, great shrimp stock. I am going to add in some green onion. I want a little bit of that to cook in. Oh, green onion's good. And I'm going to add in a little pepper. A little cayenne, and guess what? I'm going to add in some caliente, about a tablespoon. Now this is our own homemade Tabasco sauce because it's made with Tabasco peppers. And it is delish. Ooh, I love it. And now we're gonna stir in all of the corn before we let this simmer. Oh, who doesn't like corn? And some cream corn. A bisque in the workings. Oh man, this is looking some good. Ooh. I'm going to add in a splash of paprika. Just for a little color. We're going to stir that in. Now this has to simmer for 40 to 45 minutes so that all of those seasonings can cook together. But we're going to add in our 2 cups of cream. Now there's something important we have to do before we let it simmer. We have to do a taste test. Let me get my little spoon. That's good, but it needs some seasoning. So we have some magic shrimp seasoning, but we're going to go in with about a tablespoon and a half. This is the time when you want to adjust your spices. So I know I have a total of about 3 tablespoons of shrimp seasoning in here. But we're going to go in with a secret ingredient, and that is some crab oil. And I'm only going to use a teaspoon because this stuff is powerful. of course, if you're like me and you like it, you might put in more than 1 teaspoon. But I don't want to get crazy because you can change the flavor real fast with liquid crab oil. All right, here we go. Perfect. We're going to put this on the stove and simmer it down, and we're going to come right back and show you what to do with the shrimp. We had the shrimp marinating in that shrimp seasoning for quite a while, so now it's time to saute them, and we're going to get them right in that bisque. All right, so I added in a little olive oil and just maybe a half a tablespoon of butter, and now we're going to let this melt down, and we're going to start sauteing our shrimp. Just a little at a time. We just want to let them get pink. Oh, it doesn't take long. We just want to pre-cook them a little bit. They're not completely cooked, but we're going to take them out and put them in a little bowl. And we'll do the rest of them right now. We just took this big pot of bisque off the stove, and we're fixing to turn it into shrimp and crab and corn bisque. How we do that? Hey, we're going to add in our shrimp. All of that shrimp's going in. Look at that, how pretty. Now there's something you need to know about crab meat. Crab meat is picked, so there's always going to be some shells in it. Not a lot maybe, but you know, look, I always say if you get a shell in your crab meat, you know it was real crab meat, right? That's right, that's the way to feel about it. But it's always good to pick through your crab meat. Just don't try to break up those lumps too much because you want them to be pretty. But we're going in with the crab meat right now. $25 worth of crab meat. And we're just going to fold it in nicely. So now that we added in our shrimp and crab meat, we're going to let it cook again, just simmer for maybe 15 minutes just to make sure those shrimp are cooked. And then we're going to serve it up. The bridge you're seeing over Lake Pontchartrain is 5.5 miles long. It's considered the Frank Davis Naturally Nolens Memorial Bridge, connecting New Orleans to Slidell, Louisiana. Well, we're on the tail end of this recipe. The shrimp's in, the crab meat's in. We're just going to take a little bit of fresh Italian flat leaf parsley and we're going to chop it up. And we're going to add that to it and stir it in a little bit before we serve it. Oh, I can't wait. Smells great. I'm turning the fire off and we're going to plate it up. Oh boy, does that look good. Yummy. Oh, I can't wait to dig into this. So here we go. I'm going to do a little taste test. Oh, I'm going to pick this up so I don't spill it. I'm sorry. Oh my God, this is so good, guys. It is amazing. I'm just going to save the rest of it so I can sit down and eat it for dinner, because that is our dinner. Oh man, it's amazing. It's got the right spice. The shrimp are perfectly cooked. You taste the crab meat. It's not overpowering with any one flavor. It's just perfect. Remember, I'll have all the ingredients just the way I did it in the description. Well, I hope you liked our video today on the shrimp, corn, and crab bisque. or shrimp, crab, and corn bisque, however you want to say it, because it is phenomenal. So I hope you enjoyed our video. Please come back and see us again. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Hit that notification bell. And as I always say, and I always will, have a great week, and God bless you.